The information presented in this video is provided for commentary and educational purposes under the fair use provisions of Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act. No explicit or sexual content is shown or shared. All events are discussed to highlight the importance of online safety and accountability. All events discussed are based on publicly available information and personal observations. No statements in this video should be interpreted as factual allegations of criminal conduct. Viewers are reminded that everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Well, Shnake, you've really taken things this far, spreading lies about me, putting DYG into this, and even trying your hardest to put my friend Q-Razy into your mess. You've been dragging this imaginary beef for over a year now. You just couldn't stop complaining, could you? Instead, you kept running your mouth, throwing out accusations left and right like it would somehow rewrite the truth. Now you've brought it to this point, where I have to pull that Shnake mask off your face myself and show everyone exactly who you really are. To my dear viewers, let me refresh your memory a little. Let's rewind 1 year back and take a look at how this so-called beef that Shnake started actually began. Was it all real? Or was Shnake just trying to stir up drama for attention and sympathy? 1 year ago, everyone knew me as the GTA creator who took on wannabe tryhards in free mode. I was out here protecting noob players here and there, while minding my own business and focusing on actual PvP players. I've been doing this for years, and I'm still doing it to this very day, now on PlayStation. I used to be a PC player, but I permanently made the switch to PS5 and started posting PS5 videos since July 19th, 2024. Many of Shnake's toxic fans like to claim that I switched to PS5 because PC introduced an anti-cheat system. The truth? I was already on PS5 before any of that was even announced. I even went back to PC during the anti-cheat phase, did a whole series of 1 vs. 1s with U vs. Pro, and performed exactly the same as always. Anyway, let's jump to September 6th, 2024, my first encounter with Shnake. This is the same encounter that Shnake decided to post 2 months later on November 15th, 2024. The video he posted about me and my friends was titled, "I Got Jumped by Toxic Try-Hard YouTubers." Let me tell you in depth what actually happened in this session. Me and DYG were lobby hopping, trying to find a good lobby, when my friend Q-Razy told us she was getting jumped by some people. We decided to join her session. While we were in the clouds, Q-Razy kept noticing Shnake trying to interrupt her fight. Shnake kept boosting his Toreador close to her, baiting her into shooting him. She didn't shoot, so Shnake continued being annoying. And eventually, after several minutes when Shnake was doing too much, Q-Razy sniped Shnake out of his Toreador. Once DYG joined the session and heard that Shnake was being annoying, he decided to orb him to clear Shnake out of Q-Razy's area so she could continue the fight. Shnake was on a temp account, which on PlayStation is basically like a barcode account. And of course, no one trusts barcodes. At this point, none of us realized it was actually Shnake. We just knew it was an annoying temp account trying to get active. Once DYG got outside and started fighting the temp account, he noticed a familiar outfit. DYG began looking up a few YouTubers to figure out who it could be and realized it was Shnake, based on his name and outfit. He wears the exact same outfit in his videos. DYG was AFK for a few minutes, figuring out who this temp account was. Once he returned, he saw that Shnake had gone back to my friend Q-Razy. Now knowing it was Shnake and seeing him continue to provoke Q-Razy, DYG made his way over to Shnake to fight him so that Q-Razy could continue her fight in peace. At this point, I finally made it into the session. It took a while because I kept getting errors trying to join. Since I knew it was Shnake, I decided to stay neutral. After all, I had a history with him. All my OG viewers know that a year ago, Shnake was in the comments of every single one of my videos, leaving positive comments on my dirty PC fights and PS5 fights, and even asking for my help with his YouTube channel and AI voices. You can deny it, delete the comments, Shnake, but the community still remembers everything you did. So, when I was in the lobby with Shnake, I decided to spectate the whole fight from my jetpack. I didn't want to fight Shnake. I knew Shnake recognized my gamer tag. He'd been commenting on all my videos back then. My gamer tag was public. Everyone knew it was me since I'd posted with it on YouTube many times. So there was no doubt in my mind. He knew exactly that it was Lemon who was watching him. But then, out of nowhere, Shnake decided to shoot me. So naturally, I shot back. So let's be clear here. Shnake started it since he shot me first. Shnake was already provoking my friend Q Razy, which made DYG orb him just to get him out of her way. And then, out of nowhere, Shnake turned on me, even though he knew exactly who I was on this account, and I had shown no threat toward him in any form. It was me, Lemon, the same guy who had been nothing but friendly, the same guy who once helped him with his YouTube channel. And that's the person Shnake decided to attack first. Knowing you were already fighting multiple people at once, and then deciding to shoot at me too, it's a clear indicator that you were the problem all along. You didn't want peace, you wanted attention. There was absolutely no reason for Shnake to record that fight, especially when he was getting slapped around the whole time, unless he had a bigger plan in mind. To play the victim card and deceive his audience for sympathy. I want you to ask yourself, does it really make sense that me, Lemon, the guy known for being friendly, fighting griefers, and even helping YouTubers like Shnake himself with their channels and AI, would purposely grief him? If that was truly my intention, don't you think I'd be the first one posting the entire fight and bragging about slapping a noob YouTuber? No, instead, it was Shnake who waited 2 whole months before posting the whole thing himself. That 2-month wait wasn't random, it was a tactic. He wanted us to delete our POVs so he could twist the story his way. It worked on DYG and Q Razy's part since they ran out of space, but luckily I still had mine. My POV alone wasn't enough to fully cover the situation, unfortunately. But if you start to think critically, you will realize that my side of this story makes the most sense. Keep in mind, around this time, Shnake only had about 5,000 subscribers, so making up a sad story to gain attention and followers off my name was something huge for him. And even a year later, he's still dragging on to it, putting my name in his mouth for attention. And honestly, it's clearly working in his favor. All right, so now you know how this so-called beef started. It was all on Shnake. For those who still don't believe that Shnake knew exactly who I was before he even entered the lobby, let me pull out the book of proof. I'll show you a short segment from Shnake's own video about me. In that clip, Shnake explains that someone in the lobby had messaged him, telling him exactly what my name as a creator was in that session. Shnake claims that this is the only reason he figured out who I was. Someone in the lobby messaged me and told me who these guys were, and it started to make sense why they orbed and why this guy is using the jetpack against me. Which was disappointing because we've often commented on each other's videos, and I assumed there was a mutual respect between us, but apparently not. This claim is obviously made up. He already knew who I was. Let me clear one thing up. This Thermaling guy, I have no idea who that is. He's not friends with me, and he's definitely not Arson Y either. He's just some random player that Shnake probably provoked into a fight, the same way Shnake was provoking Q Razy. I just wish Shnake had posted his full POV of this moment, but of course it's being gatekept to hide the full story. Now, let me show you another short segment of a live stream from Recoil. Recoil was reacting to the situation between me and Shnake. And in the live comments, Shnake was responding to various questions.
Snake, I gotta ask you a question. Did you know that was Lemon? Like the moment you seen him in a jetpack, did you know that was Lemon?
No, not until a few minutes after this.
Oh, really? How did you find out though? Like, how did you find out? Is my whole thing. How did you like know it was Lemon? How did you know? Show the message of the guy who told you who we are, Snake. He literally just said in a video that somebody told him. Yeah, but who told him though? Who told him? I feel like stuff like that, you can't just leave hanging. You know what I mean? Because then the question is, if it was just you fighting two other people, right? And then Lemon pulled up, who told you was Lemon? That's my whole thing. That is what I want to know, is where did you get the information from? Because that is like, I feel like it's a big thing, because if you didn't know, if you genuinely didn't know it was Lemon, then I feel like you might be somewhat in the right. But if you knew it was Lemon the whole entire time, from the like moment you seen them in the jetpack, then it's like somebody told me in the session that they were YouTubers, Lemon's friend, then messaged me on PlayStation with the link to his post speaking about the fight. Then I knew it was Lemon. Delete your game, you told me. Delete your game? Delete your game? All right, let me keep watching.
I had to cut out so many quiet parts because it literally took Shnake minutes to type out this nonsense. First, Shnake says someone in the session told him I was Lemon. Then he suddenly switches it up and claims it was DYG who told him. But when people ask him to show the message, there's no response, because there is no message. It's all made up by Shnake as an excuse to create this entire fake beef. And let's be real, showing proof of such messages is the key element in videos like these. If it's left out, that should ring some bells. Just the way Shnake is lying so much. Let me break it down. Listen carefully. Someone in the lobby messaged me and told me who these guys were, and it started to make sense why they orbed and why this guy is using the jetpack against me. According to Shnake, this is the exact moment when everything started to make sense. He claims he suddenly realized who we were, because apparently someone in the lobby told him our names. But a few days later, in Recoil's stream, Shnake says this.
Show the message of the guy who told you who we are, Snake.
Here, Shnake claims he didn't know who we were, only that we were YouTubers but not our names. Then, he switches up his story again, saying that DYG told him our names because of some imaginary post. So Shnake is lying again, deceiving you. Anyway, let me show you something interesting I found a few months ago while editing a video about one of my trash talkers. I haven't posted that video yet because the beef with that guy has been going on for over a year, and it's still going on to this day. It's a massive project. When I first came across this, I didn't plan on showing it. Honestly, I was too unbothered to reopen the whole Shnake case. I didn't want to start this nonsense all over again and cause another scene. But since this snake opens his mouth again, this is the best time to show it. Here's a recording straight from my video editing software. And there it is, clear as day. Shnake commenting on my very first free mode video on PS5, asking me to add him on my VenOpX account. That video was posted on August 3rd, 2024. Now remember, our first encounter in free mode didn't even happen until September 6th, a whole month later. So yes, Shnake knew exactly who I was long before that session ever happened. You've all been deceived by Shnake. It's sad that it had to come to this, that only now, 1 year later, the mask finally falls off. For those of you who want proof which comment section this is from, I will now search one of these comments from that same video to see if it's still there today. Here you see a screen recording of the video Shnake had commented on. Obviously, this comment has been deleted like many of his other comments. And there you see the same comment that can be seen in the screenshot that I made 1 year ago. Yeah. And there you go. Yeah, Shnake, you can delete comments, but the truth always finds its way back up. You can hide messages, twist timelines, and act innocent all you want, but the facts don't disappear just because you hit delete. Yeah, Shnake, I know you're watching this, probably already cooking up another lie. Being the snake that you are, I can already guess what's coming next. You're gonna mention this community post of yours. You'll make a video claiming that DYG's community post went up during our first encounter. You'll try to deceive your viewers into believing that you somehow figured out mid-fight that the 3 players in that session were Lemon, DYG, and Q-Razy, just because, according to you, DYG made a post in the middle of the fight, twisting the timeline again, just to save face. You've been running that same tired playbook since day 1. Nice try, Shnake. But that fairy tale's about to get fact-checked. Time to shut down your cap factory once and for all. All right, let me show you a screenshot of my chat messages with Shnake. Shnake sends me a chat message on 3:13 a.m. He calls me Lemon here, so he knows who I am. So in Shnake, his community post, Shnake claims that he didn't know who I was up until DYG posted his community post. All right, so here's the thing. YouTube doesn't show the exact minute when a community post goes up. But luckily, DYG posted a screenshot of that same community post on his Instagram story, and that's where we can see the exact timing. So, in this screenshot, you can see the Instagram story timestamp, 4:19 a.m. That story is a screenshot of DYG's YouTube community post, which means the original post went up 32 minutes earlier at around 3:47 a.m. So here's the real question. How is Shnake calling me Lemon at 3:13 a.m. if he supposedly only found out who I was when DYG made his community post? Because here's the thing. DYG, his post went up after the fight at 3:47 a.m., after Shnake was already calling me by name. So his whole story doesn't add up. Shnake is out here claiming the community post is how he figured it out, but the timestamps prove otherwise. Shnake already knew who I was before that post ever existed. Oh, and let me add one final detail that completely seals this case. Let's go back to DYG's community post. Right here, you can see that in this very same post, DYG says, and I quote, "A video of Shnake will come up like he told Lemon." And this right here is where Shnake told me about his video, way after he had already called me by name. So tell me, Shnake, how are you calling me Lemon when you claim you only figured out our names after seeing DYG's community post? The timelines just don't match up. Because if your story were true, how would DYG even know about your so-called video mention in his post? Make it make sense, Shnake. Because the evidence speaks for itself. You knew exactly who I was before this post was even made. Your own words don't line up, Shnake. You're a liar. This entire beef that Shnake set up, it's just for recognition. This isn't new. Other people have tried the same thing before. Raw Kitten, Cooper, Kevin, you name it. You have to understand, once you reach a certain status in this game, people will do anything to pull you down for their own benefit. You've seen me. I was just chilling, minding my own business the whole time, even when nearly the entire community thought I was the griefer because of Snake's fake narratives from a year ago. I could have debunked this months ago, but I simply didn't care. But when someone takes extreme measures like Shnake, well, I might jog a little to show you how it really is. Shnake, you're a liar. You lied to me, DYG, Q-Razy, Recoil, and to your own fans. This entire nonsense has been going on for over a year now. I have never seen someone as toxic as you, Shnake. In your video about me, you even denied ever getting help from me, when almost everyone still remembers your comments under my videos begging for help with your channel and AI voices. But yeah, since you deleted most of your messages, Shnake, it's hard for me to prove this. Anyways, let's go to the next subject. Toxicity and racism. Shnake. What's that, Shnake? What's that? Is that you being an actual racist right there, Shnake? Why are you projecting your racism onto us, Shnake? Why are you getting super toxic and taking it so far as to attack someone's baby in their profile picture, Shnake? It's just a game. Getting outplayed in a simple game doesn't make it an excuse to act personal onto someone's baby. Being this toxic over a game? That's insane, Shnake. You might ask, how did I get this screenshot? Well, when DYG posted his Shnake debunking video, there was someone in the comments who wanted to share their personal experience with Shnake on Xbox messages. Here are the DMs between DYG and the person who wanted to share their personal experience with Shnake with screenshotted and even screen-recorded proof. Here you can see how toxic Shnake will get about a game. Shnake even confirms that it's super funny to insult someone's baby and being a whole racist right there. Look at how personal Shnake is getting. He is getting super personal to a mother and her child, just because Shnake is getting trashed in a simple video game. Let's take a look at the next screenshot. All right, let's get a bit deeper into the words Shnake is saying. I asked ChatGPT to break down what Snake's actually saying in depth. And if you read it carefully, you can truly understand just how disgusting the behavior is that he's radiating. It's not just trash talk anymore. It's pure toxicity on display. Mind you, all of this is simply because Shnake got slapped in a video game. And these screenshots, these are only the few we were lucky enough to get from one of our viewers. Just imagine how many other cruel, toxic messages Shnake has sent from his alt accounts. If he is already this comfortable saying this kind of stuff on his main, this really shows how toxic Shnake can be. He always pulls his imaginary girlfriend into the mix, as if having her agree with him somehow makes his nonsense sound valid. It's his favorite trick to make whoever he's arguing with feel smaller. And to make it worse, he was live streaming all of it. He even bragged that his entire stream was laughing along. That just shows how toxic Shnake's community has become, laughing at a mother and her child getting cussed out by Shnake himself. For those of you who don't believe these DMs are the real Shnake, let me show you a profile inspection right here from the same DMs. And there you have it. Also, let me show you how Shnake is botting his Xbox followers. Around this time right here, Shnake got 85,000 followers. But a few hours later, this guy suddenly got 90,000 followers. A few days later, 133,000 followers. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here, Shnake. Are you showing off your follower count as if it's the result of your so-called success from a fabricated video about me? If you're taking extreme measures like this just to boost your image, I can't help but wonder, are your YouTube views and subs even genuine? Because in all honesty, to me at least, your content doesn't seem even 1% interesting enough to be pulling those kinds of numbers. I ain't the only one thinking that. DYG and even two other big YouTubers are thinking the same. Shnake will most likely blame this onto somebody else and lie about it like Shnake always does. Let me show you the level of gaslighting that Shnake operates on, because this will truly reveal what kind of person he really is. So here, Shnake claims he hates toxicity. Okay, Shnake, then why have you been lying about this entire beef for a whole year? You've been out here spreading false narratives and damaging my image as a creator. And not only me, also DYG and Q Razy as creators. That's 3 individuals, Shnake. Let me pull out European laws for you, Shnake, because what you've been doing is actually against the law. And well, you broke them 3 times in a row. It's not looking good for you, buddy. This is getting serious now. The fame really got to your head, Shnake. That's why you're out here acting reckless, showing no empathy, and losing sight of who you really are. And not only that, Shnake, let's also talk about indirect viewer harassment. Let me show you a few of your own videos, Shnake, where you yourself harass players on a personal level in a video game. I'd almost feel bad for him if he wasn't such a disgusting human being. Those 6 months, I've made a bunch of videos showcasing the degenerate scumbags who use this exploit. Then they went passive so they could safely come outside in another God mode car. Truly fatherless behavior. No kills. Eventually, he does the coward's rage quit, calling people disgusting human beings, degenerate scumbags, fatherless, cowards, and even messaging players that they're the worst type of human. I didn't even have to dig deep for these clips, Shnake. They came up instantly, without effort. So I can only imagine how much more you've in your other videos and even in situations that aren't even recorded. You're saying all of this to people who might literally be kids. It could be a 12-year-old just trying to have fun or be a little annoying in the game. And here you are, cursing them out and calling them the worst kind of human because of what they do in a game. That's quite concerning, Shnake. It's actually even disturbing. I'm sure you already know this, Shnake, but for those who don't, what you're doing is actually against the law. It's called direct harassment, and it's serious. Read this carefully, Shnake. One insult in a video isn't a huge deal, but you're repeating this over and over again to people you don't even know in nearly every video. Like I said before, some of these individuals could be 12-year-olds, just trying to be a little annoying in a game. All right, next screenshot. Okay, so let's get this straight. You claimed 11 months ago that you wouldn't give us any more attention, and yet here you are again, posting an entire video about me. Now you claim that this was just a response to my Cooper video, fair enough, but then why drag DYG and Q-Razy into it when they've got absolutely nothing to do with that situation? You're simply trying to put us in a bad daylight like you've been doing for over a year, Shnake. Next screenshot. Yeah, Shnake, he seems okay with racism just like you. You're a hypocrite, Shnake. Just like most of your fans. And I ain't the only one thinking that. DYG, Q-Razy, and even Recoil thinks that.
And this is what I'm talking about. Snake people are hypocrites. They are very hypocritical, bro. You know what I mean? Shnake is my guy, but with all due respect, his fans are some of, and not all of his fans, but some of his fans are very much hypocritical, bro.
There are even two other big YouTubers, ones you probably watch yourself, who share the same opinions about Shnake. Same opinions like me, DYG, Q-Razy, and Recoil. But out of respect for them, and because they asked to stay out of this, I'll keep their names private. All right, next subject. Cheating. Shnake likes to complain all the time about people cheating. Cheating like going into wall breaches, job teleporting, playing upside down MK2, etc., but even dirty play like playing on roofs and UOing. All this complaining, Shnake. Yet when you do the same thing, it's totally fine. You manipulate your viewers into excusing it, convincing them it's valid just because it comes from you, and put others in a bad light when they do the same. So you might be wondering, Lemon, where's the proof that Shnake projects about play styles? Well, let me show you exactly how he does it. I'm going to show you a clip of a YouTuber called George King. He joined a lobby and saw Shnake griefing someone's cargo. George decided to take action and attack Shnake, but Shnake's PvP skills are honestly garbage, so Shnake had to call in two of his friends just to attempt and take George down. Oh, and by the way, when George joined the session, Shnake immediately knew he was a YouTuber. Shnake watches him. Let's go to the clips. Here we see Shnake griefing cargo. In the next clip, we see Shnake up on a building with thermals, something he's clearly disgusted by. He hates this kind of play, yet here he is doing it himself. Next, we see Shnake job teleporting. Next, we see Shnake RC spamming. Next, we see just how toxic Shnake gets in chat. He even bypasses the profanity filter by adding spaces. Clearly experienced at talking smack and getting personal over a video game. In the next clip, we see that Shnake doesn't have any issues when his friend goes ghost to help him out against George. Here we see RC spamming again, done by Shnake his friends. Here's clear proof of Shnake 2v1ing. Everything done in ghost while George was fully exposed on the map. Unfair advantage, but apparently it's okay when a noob like Shnake does it. And of course, he's laughing when his friend helps him out. The moment feels oddly familiar to our situation with Shnake, where he set up a fake beef. But when Shnake does it, it's suddenly okay. That's how good he is at deceiving people. In the next clip, Shnake is RC spamming again, trash talking with one hand on his phone while controlling the RC with the other. Imagine how absurd that looks. In the next clip, you can really see how seriously Shnake takes this game, pulling his hair out just because of someone's playstyle. Relax. You're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Here we see RC spamming again. And again. We see Shnake his friends EWO looping. And Shnake for no reason calling George a cheater. And just like that, you're suddenly labeled as a cheater now. Why? Because a noob like Shnake said so with no proof. That's how fragile logic works in Shnake's world. Shnake. Your friend's out here EWO looping. So tell me, are you gonna make one of those dramatic videos again, talking about how much you're against it, with sad music playing in the background to milk sympathy from your viewers? Anyways, here's a clip of Shnake Job teleporting to a roof. Shnake most likely got inspiration from me since I always use this roof teleport. And here we have Shnake EWOing, something he's always so against. But only when it's in his videos. Off camera though, suddenly anything goes. Even George notices how much of a hypocrite Shnake is. Here we see Shnake's friends orbing George. Of course, it's perfectly fine to orb, as long as it's not Shnake getting orbed. Because when it happens to him, suddenly it's the end of the world, and he'll turn it into a whole video drama. Here, we see Shnake abusing the off-radar Akula, using it to score cheap, effortless kills on George. Here we see Shnake complaining again about EWOing, even though Shnake and his friends were EWOing before. And of course, Shnake and his friends are almost full-on playing in Ghost. RC spamming again. Shnake showing how toxic he is, getting personal again. Here we got Shnake in a RC Amani tech car, and using the sad horn because Shnake and his friends know they are full-on playing dirty, having a 3v1 against George. Here we got Shnake, his friend, telling score, something Shnake is super against. Here, Shnake gets personal, just like he did with me and DYG. But apparently no one cared enough to call it out. Crazy how the rules only seem to apply when it benefits Shnake. Even George knows Shnake loves the victim card. The same card Shnake has been pulling for over a year. Here, Shnake starts mocking someone for promoting modded accounts. But let's be real, Shnake most likely has modded accounts himself. At this point, he's not just clowning on George, he's also throwing shade at creators like Recoil and others who promote or sell modded accounts. Ask yourself this, have you ever cared that much about a game, saying you're getting sick over it? That's really pushing it. There's just way too much caring going on here. It's a video game, not a life crisis. Here we see Shnake and his two friends, all in Ghost. A full 3 versus 1 against George. Super dirty gameplay, especially coming from someone who constantly preaches about fair fights. Crazy how the rules only seem to matter when Shnake is the one losing. I want to thank George for capturing this moment with Shnake. Let me be clear. I'm not complaining about anyone's playstyle. I don't care. Lag switches, God mode, permanent invisible off-radar users, you name it. I've seen it all and adapted. Complaining won't change a thing. I'm only highlighting how hypocritical Shnake is. He's fully against these tactics, mocks me for using them, yet Shnake had 0 issues enjoying my PC gameplay before I destroyed him. From 1 versus 1s to extreme dirty plays, Shnake watched it all and loved it. Many of my OG viewers still remember Snake's comments praising how insane my gameplay was. Shnake is the #1 deceiver in GTA 5. He feeds nonsense ideologies to his viewers, trying to set some so-called standard of clean play. He mocks anyone who plays slightly dirty, even though, as you've seen, Shnake does it all himself. Shnake knew George King and still tried to start beef with him. Shnake pretended he didn't know he was in a lobby with me, DYG, and Q-Razy, even though he clearly did and still started beef. In this screenshot, Shnake even admits he has beef with enough YouTubers. It's quite obvious, Shnake is no good. The entire narrative about me, Lemon, being a griefer, that's all because of Snake's setup. As far as I know, Shnake only has 1 collab with a known YouTuber who Shnake became close friends with, but even this one has crazy lore that's no good, which I will later cover in this video. If I was really a bad guy, do you think I would have done so many collabs with creators like Uversus Pro, Recoil, Arson Y, Abi the Artist, and many others? I think the answer is pretty clear. Most people in this community who have ever hated on me are the ones I put in their place because they acted up against me for no reason. Anyways, let's show some clips of other YouTubers Shnake started beef against. The next clip is from a YouTuber called Matayo. Shnake clearly knew who Matayo was, and yet decided to start a fight with him. After Shnake got smacked 2-0 by Matayo, without using any dirty tactics, Shnake decided to resort to a permanent off-radar glitch to try and get his kills back on Matayo. The casino is required for this glitch.
Oh, he would spawn on that side. Who's done that?
Rammed in me.
Let me guess, that's the Snake guy. Yep, he's... Oh, look at him. He's perm off radar now as well.
Yeah, Shnake is playing like this in a clean lobby, not even a bad sports session. And yet Shnake still has so much to say about my glitches in my Cooper video, which I used in a bad sports session. Where using such glitches is fully justified, people are purposely going to bad sport so they can fight against insanely dirty players. But doing that stuff against other YouTubers in a clean player lobby, Shnake, you're doing too much. That sad music you used to justify your playstyle against Matayo sure worked to deceive your fan base, and even purposely letting out the fact that I was in a bad sports session where playing dirty is completely normal, no matter how dirty or game-breaking it is, to put me in a bad daylight yet again. Shameful. Shnake. Let's go on to the next video of a creator called Polish and Frosty. In this video, we see Shnake yet again doing a permanent off-radar glitch and griefing the entire lobby with it. Also while EWO looping continuously. Oh, and on roofs as well. Remember, Shnake hates roofs. Let me remind you, Shnake is playing like this in clean player lobbies, not bad sport. EWO looping constantly. Something Shnake is super against. Even getting killed while being permanently off radar goes to show how much of a noob you're supporting here. Shnake kept on EWO looping constantly, so this creator ended up leaving the session. We've got 2 recorded POVs from 2 different creators showing Shnake playing like this. That means this permanent off-radar glitch wasn't a one-time thing. It's something Shnake regularly does either to grief lobbies or just to get his kills back. And if this is what we've seen so far, imagine the dirty play from Shnake that we haven't even caught on video yet. Anyways, let's go to the last clip. This clip is from a creator called SGC. Here we see Shnake, and this creator mentions that he knows that Shnake is playing dirty. Next, we see that Shnake goes into a wall breach to try and snipe this guy out of his hangar. Luckily for this guy, Shnake didn't manage to kill him because he re-entered the hangar, which makes him unkillable now. You can see the red hit markers on the screen, showing how many times Shnake tried to shoot him. It only takes 2 shots max to kill someone, so clearly Shnake got frustrated, spamming bullets even though he knew it wasn't doing anything. And there you have Shnake in a wall breach, and eventually, Shnake teleports back into his facility, most likely waiting for this guy to go outside so he can orb him. And again, I don't care how anyone plays, whether it's in bad sport or clean lobbies. That's not the point. The point is, Shnake constantly bashes others, especially me, for playing dirty, while he's out here doing the exact same thing himself. The hypocrisy just hits different with Shnake. He's blinded by his own self-delusion, trying to tell everyone else how to play, acting all sweet in public, when in reality, Shnake himself is the root of the problem. Let's take a look at Snake's POV in his own videos. He constantly complains about me using wall breaches. Yet, as you'll see, Shnake himself isn't shy about using them in his content. Here we see Shnake going undermap in clean player lobbies, something he made a huge deal about when I did the exact same thing in bad sport lobbies. No matter the reasoning, undermap is undermap. And here we go again. Shnake being undermap. When Shnake went into his pause menu, I noticed he had various undermap job teleports. Why does he have these if he's supposedly disgusted by this playstyle? Is Shnake really disgusted, or is he just trying to put everyone else in a bad light for content and sympathy, like he has been doing with me for over a year? Yeah, I think you can already guess it. Complete tomfoolery. Okay, Shnake, I think I've covered most things about you for now. Let's move on to another subject. The way you suddenly decided to drop that video about me. Something about it feels suspicious. How does a random noob like you, who's never even stepped foot into the PC community, suddenly get deep, out of context information about it? You're stuck on console. You don't have access to any of this. So the info you mentioned about me on PC clearly isn't yours. Someone fed it to you, and based on the screenshots you showed, ones I've seen plenty of times before, I know exactly where they came from. There's another person working in the shadows for you, Shnake. Another mad YouTuber who got brutally smoked and exposed by me 4 years ago. His name is Istura. That's right. It's this Faggio noob right here thinking he has any say in how the game works or how PvP is played. Yes, this zigzagging noob right here. The one who's been trying to convince the entire community that I'm using aimbot in all my videos. You might remember him from last year, and remember how many times he and Joker for Life tried to expose my supposed aimbot in their community posts. Ever since that beating, Istura just can't stop putting my name in his mouth. It's been going on for nearly 4 years now. Istura and his PvP Hub Discord server with almost 6,000 users even went as far as faking stuff about me, claiming things like me DDoSing people. I actually got notified about it by this guy right here 3 years ago. I smoked Istura and his friends so badly that they all had to team up against me, trying to spread misinformation wherever they could. It even got to the point where Istura and his PvP Hub members were faking clips about me. And with nearly 6,000 people in that server, it's not hard to frame someone, especially when GTA 5 on PC back in 2023 had name spoofing through mod menus. Istura and his friends got plenty of friends with mod menus, so asking one of them to pretend to be me isn't far-fetched at all. Let me show you what spoofing means and looks like on PC. I have a clip here of a creator called Some Ordinary Gamers who explained it very well.
On Rockstar Games or Grand Theft Auto 5, they're spoofing their names. In fact, let me show you how up this is too. They can literally impersonate me in the game, down to my name, down to who I look like. And let's just assume that this person impersonates me. They can then run around and start screaming like racial obscenities. All right, they can say that I'm like the biggest asshole on the planet. They can start literally hacking under my name and my image. And guess what? That could probably end up in me getting banned. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that is possible. That is very, very possible. Somebody could send in a report and say, wow, Muda's kind of a racist on the internet. And this guy would have the video proof that they could forge for it. That's how easy it is to with you in the game. They can copy your they can copy your name, they can copy how you look, they can copy every single thing. In fact, even if you look at the text thread I was having, it looked like I was talking to my self. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. So let's get down into it even more.
There you have it. Every single video about me supposedly doing crazy stuff with mods stopped appearing on YouTube the second Rockstar patched the entire spoofing pandemic. Istura and his PvP Hub couldn't spoof as me anymore, so they had to resort to more pathetic tactics to try and make me look bad. In the next clip, you can see Istura and Joker for Life live streaming. During this stream, they decided to frame me. Istura and Joker asked one of their friends to create a Peaceful Lemon account and join into the session just so they could get kills on my character and flex with it to their viewers. Everyone in the chat thought it was actually me.
Guys, wait a minute. Who is that?
No, we got nothing. Oh my God!
Press Z.
Why the fuck?
Whoa! Who is that, guys? What the hell? Who's that?
Oh, he joined our lobby. What?
Oh, get in here,
bro! Oh, that's funny.
Does anyone know how that guy got in here?
Bro, looking clapped us.
Listen carefully. While they all pretend like it's me, they say that I modded into their game like Istura, and his friends had been faking for years.
Bro, you modded in here. What the fuck? What the freak? What the freak?
This is the real one, by the way. This is so real.
Yeah, definitely real.
Yeah, this is a real one, too. Stura killed Peaceful Lemon.
The airport.
Come on, let's team on Peaceful Lemon right now. Let's get this guy. Let's show him what's up.
Bro, I'm not fighting no modder that.
Bro, it's the real one, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't worry, guys, I got him.
Josh, this is the real Peaceful Lemon, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There you can see just how far this entire group, Istura and his PvP Hub members, is willing to go. It's a large, organized group, fully aware of what they're doing, working together to drag others down for their own benefit. So you might ask, why do I think that Istura is helping Shnake to try and pull me down? Over a year ago, when U vs Pro wanted to 1 vs 1 me, Istura tried to expose my supposed aimbot. He claimed he was working on a major project about me that took 6 months, which is an understatement. It must have taken well over a year, judging by how many clips he stockpiled. He collected an absurd amount of footage from my YouTube POVs and accused me of magic aimbot in nearly every video. Not only that, he said I had magic rockets too. He acted like I logged into GTA with a wand and a spellbook or something. His entire plan was to paint me in a bad light so U vs Pro would back out of the 1 vs 1. Just look at it. You can clearly see how far this guy is willing to go just because he got beaten in a video game. At this point, it genuinely looks like my beatings left some kind of psychological dent, because this level of obsession and behavior isn't healthy in the slightest. So yeah, I talked with Istura for a long time. Every time he showed me a clip claiming magic rockets, magic bullets, or any other so-called magic, I went straight to my PS5 and recreated and debunked everything he brought up. And yes, on a PS5, where mods aren't even possible. His allegations came from my PC clips, where modding can happen. Yet I'm the only creator who actually uses a hand cam, showing my aim in raw form. It's the most transparent proof anyone could provide. And somehow he still had doubts. Istura is a complete noob trying to act like he has authority in anything PvP related. Like, let's be for real. Look at the way I caught him on PlayStation a few weeks ago. Does it look like Istura has any say PvP-wise? Punch in the air, rage, quitting and everything. You gotta be crazy if you think he knows anything about PvP. Look at what U vs Pro had to say about this situation. Open your eyes. Who are you going to believe? Istura the mad guy who knows nothing about PvP and has to cope about the beatings I gave him 4 years ago? Or U vs Pro, one of the most respected players in the entire PvP community? To get back to the question of why I think Istura is helping Shnake, every single screenshot Shnake used in his video about me came from people in PvP Hub, and when Istura tried to expose me, he posted the exact same screenshots on his YouTube community tab. These screenshots only circulate within PvP Hub members. And guess what I found out? Shnake literally became friends with Istura on Discord, most likely where they're both sharing these images. So yeah, there you have it, an insane story. It really shows how toxic some people can get over a game. I'm the only creator in this community uploading handcam videos. No one else does it like me. If people truly think I'm using magic aimbot or something, that's fine. But why not challenge me to a fair 1 vs 1 on console? You can't mod there. Clearly, some players care way too much about the game and their egos, knowing they wouldn't stand a chance, so they resort to obsessing and faking like Shnake and Istura. Behind all the lies Shnake has been spreading about us, trying to paint us as the worst griefers in the game and deceiving everyone, he's even teaming up with Istura, a guy who's exactly like him, just to deceive even more people. At this point, it's just pattern recognition. Honestly, it feels like Shnake mostly surrounds himself with people who are just like him. All right, I'm done with this subject. Before I move on to the last subject, I want to tell you that this video is for commentary, discussion, and community awareness only. All individuals mentioned are public figures, and all information comes from publicly available content. We are not making accusations or personal attacks, and no private information is being shared. Opinions expressed are our own observations about publicly visible behavior. All right, let's dive into it. The reason I want to discuss this is because I recently found out that Shnake has been collaborating with another creator named Metal. You may know him from Met Pro. Certain behaviors from Metal seem concerning, so I want to use this opportunity to warn not only Shnake, who is collaborating and friends with him, but also the wider community. All right, Shnake, some of the following public information has been known for several years now. As you may know, the two Met Pro guys had a public Discord server a few years ago. At first glance, it might have seemed like a typical server for their fans, a place to connect and play the game together. This wasn't a normal Discord server at all. It contained channels with highly sensitive and illegal material, including bestiality, explicit fur content, anime, and gay-themed images. Accessing these channels was shockingly easy. There was no age verification in place. Let me show you a screenshot of this public Discord server. So this Discord server says that there's no TOS breaking content. To join the chat channels that catch your interest, all you have to do is click one of these emojis to gain access. These were just one of the few roles members could get, open for everyone to see. Which is concerning cause the MetPro guys had a massive Discord server containing underaged people as well. Now, let's address the explicit content shared in these channels. Content that shockingly was accessible to underaged users as well. These are one of the few text messages within that channel that were going around. And yes, also this openly for everybody to see. Now this is where things get weird. Metal sends an explicit picture of certain body parts, where everybody, including young people, could see that picture. Not only that, but bestiality was shared right here as well. This is illegal in all EU countries and is just concerning. And it wasn't just once. Metal openly shared explicit images of certain body part twice, visible to everyone. This is extremely concerning, especially considering the number of underaged fans in that server. With no age verification system in place, this isn't just worrying for me. It's a concern for the entire community. Now I'm done with everything. So, this is actually shocking. Like I said, no accusations were made and no fingers were pointed. This had to be highlighted to warn Shnake and others on this sort-off stuff and to showcase who Shnake was collaborating with. As for the Cronus accusations, everybody within this community knows that I don't use one. Also, DYG and Q-Razy don't use one either. Just look at one of our videos and you'll see it for yourself. I really hope everybody sees in what kind of hypocrite Shnake actually is, deceiving his fans for his own benefit. I also hope I opened a lot of eyes within the last part of the video. The awareness was needed on this one. Before I end the video, I want to give Shnake a quick warning. I know he'll try to debunk this with lies or false information with sad music in the background, trying to manipulate his viewers and win hearts. So let me make this clear. We're done with you. You're dead to us. You're no longer part of anything involving me, DYG, or Q-Razy. If you start faking things about any of us again, spreading lies, or pushing false accusations, we will take this higher up. Anyways, for anyone who is interested into seeing the background cinematics of this video, I will now play the entire cinematic for you. I hope you have made it till the end of this video. I will see you in the next one.